In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you all about the new Space Pirate archetype we got in the Galaxy Guide. Let's dive in. So of course, we gotta start with the dedication. Take this dedication, you must be trained in intimidation. Only requirements. Taking this dedication gives you training in piloting, or if you were already trained, you become an expert in it. You also have familiarity with cutlasses, flails, rapiers, and any weapon with the raising traits. For the purposes of proficiency, these weapons count as simple weapons for you. And if you are at least an expert in these weapons, you get the critical specialization effect of them. You also gain the Hollow Roger free action, which can be used when you roll initiative. When you use this action, your ship's hollow flag projects above you, lasting for 1 minute. However, they must be able to see the flag to use this. Also, while your flag is displayed, you get a +1 bonus on intimidation checks to coerce. Demoralize is a very good action that needs to be used. And being able to demoralize all enemies within 60 feet on a level 2 feat is actually kind of insane. If you don't know, barbarians in Pathfinder need a level 12 feat to do this. Granted, once you use this, they're all immune to demoralize for quite a bit of time, but this combined with some other feats could be extremely useful. And even a few rounds of minuses to everything is ridiculous. And this is just from the dedication. Now we move on to level 4 feats, and the first one is one that is usually only available to soldier. That is menacing laughter. For one action, we can make an intimidation check against all enemies within 30 feet who are suppressed. Unfortunately, this one just isn't as good. Not really. The problem with this feat being available to the Space Pirates is that you're going to be demoralizing everyone within 60 feet when you roll initiative, which means they're going to be immune to this feat, whether you succeed or not. Plus, the only class that can really suppress people is a soldier, which this feat is already available to. So it's a good feat, it's just not that great for this archetype, unfortunately. And the next feat available to the Space Pirate at level 4 really isn't all that great for the archetype either. With Quip, if an enemy within 30 feet is damaged by an ally strike, you can use a reaction to demoralize that creature. Again, you can use the Hollow Roger free action anytime you roll initiative, which means they're going to be immune regardless of whether you succeed or not. This is a feat that is only available to envoys normally, but again, you're never going to use this. You're always going to use the Hollow Roger reaction when you roll initiative. So they're always going to be immune to that. But we do have one level 4 feat that is actually worth taking. To use broadside charge, you must be wielding a gun and any weapon with the agile traits or a phase cutlass, one in each hand. For 2 actions, you can make a ranged strike, move up to your speed, and then make a melee strike. Both attacks use your current multiple attack penalty, but you must attack the same target with both strikes. This does count as 2 strikes for your multiple attack penalty. This is really good action economy. You're basically attacking at full attack bonus with a ranged strike and a melee strike at the same target. Unfortunately, this isn't all that great for teamwork, but it's better than the other feats you can take at 4th level. At least it'll actually work in most cases, unlike the other 2 feats at this level. Okay, we've got 2 feats at level 6 starting with Double Draw, normally only available to Kathatha. For one action, you get to interact twice and draw 2 items, or you can draw and stow. This is clearly designed so you can pull out your melee weapon and your gun at the same time. But you can use it for other items too, such as potions, tech items, really just anything you can hold in one hand. This feat is actually really, really good. Great action economy. You need to consider this if you're playing as Space Pirates. Also at level 6, we have Pirate's Parry. This is a reaction that can be used anytime an enemy attempts a melee strike against you. However, you must be wielding a gun and a weapon with the agile trait or a phase cutlass to use this. You gain a +2 bonus on your AC against the triggering attack. If this strike is a critical failure, you get to make a gun strike against that target. That does not trigger reaction from the target anyway. Personally, I think double draw is better. But this is a good defensive option and can be a free attack. Damage is important. It just can't be everything. This is a reaction, so it's a once per round thing. But this could be the difference between life and death, so it is good. It's just not that great for teamwork. For level 8, we've got another reaction called Press Gang the Soul. You can use this reaction when you reduce an enemy to 0 hit points using a phase cutlass, specifically. As long as you are wielding a phase cutlass with Stolen Vitality, you can cast Wisp Ally heightened to a rank equal to half your level. You can only have a number of Wisps equal to the number of enemies that you've press ganged with your cutlass. Also, the first time each round that you strike with your cutlass, you gain the effects of a sustain the spell action that you can only use on Wisp Ally. This feat is actually kind of insane, if you think about it. First of all, the more enemies you knock to 0 hit points, the more Wisp you have, which is already insane. And you get a free sustain just by striking. You don't even have to hit. You just have to strike. And Wisp Ally makes them off guard, which makes them easier to hit, which makes it easier to get more wisps. They do get a will save against this, but great feat here, highly recommend. And the last feat that's available for Space Pirates for now is Opening Volley. This feat is normally only available to operatives. I know this says it's a level 8 feat, but if you stick it through the archetype, it's actually a level 10 feat. You must be wielding a gun and a melee weapon, or a combination weapon to use this feat. For one action, you can make a range strike with the required weapon. If you hit, you get a +2 bonus on your next attack roll with a melee weapon this round. So essentially what you're doing is you're making a range strike, and then if you make a melee strike in the same round, you get a +2. All for one action. Now, your second strike is going to take the multiple attack penalty, -5, but you're a space pirate. You're probably going to be using something with the agile trait, which means only a -4. So effectively, you're taking a -2, which is honestly pretty good. And it can be especially good if the enemy is debuffed as well. All the enemy needs to be is something like Frightened 2, and this is basically 2 attacks at full bonus. And this archetype does lend itself to Demoralize. You have to critically succeed to get that -2, but it's a good option for Space Pirates. Better on Operative, but Operative is always going to have more accuracy than any other class, period. Because Operative is basically just the fighter of Starfinder. And that's the Space Pirate archetype done. If you guys made it this far in the video, you more than likely like my content, and you're interested in Starfinder. If that's the case, please subscribe. It helps a lot more than you think. You want to subscribe over here, especially if you're a subscriber of Team Player Gaming, which is my Pathfinder channel. If you're not subscribed to either, or you haven't seen my Pathfinder channel yet, you can go check that out. Link is in the description. But I think most of you are probably coming from Pathfinder too. Links to my Discord and my other social media are in the description as well, including my Patreon page, where you can get path builders for my builds. You can also get your specific builds either on here or on Team Player Gaming, depending on whether you're a Starfinder or a Pathfinder player. And remember guys, teamwork is vital. It helps us solve problems.